Hey there everyone! I'm back again with an update on our Rabbitat. So there have been huge changes in the years since I made that last video. Sorry it took so long. So it is spring. The snow is melting. I can hear it dripping off the roofs here. And this is a really important time to display the changes that we made to our Rabbitat. Because snow is melting and things are muddy. So previously with our last Rabbitat, it was open and we had a very wet space in the spring and in the fall when it was rainy and when there was melting snow. So the biggest change to our Rabbitat is that we now have a roof, and this is so essential. Because with the melting snow or the rainy season, we would just end up with a huge mess. In the winter, the snow would, the rabbits would pee and poo, and it would be snowy and icy. And while I could cover up their mess, I could cover it up with clean straw. It's impossible to clean out when it's all frozen. So we would just end up with a breeding ground for bacteria and worms and whatnot, and our rabbits would get sick. So it wasn't very healthy. And we realized that if we're going to keep rabbits, we need a roof. We have animals, we need a barn. So that's the biggest change in our Rabbitat. We built a roof and we enclosed it better. And since we've built this, we have had 0 predator issues, which is fantastic. So I'll take you on a little tour and show you some of the changes that we made. So we have muddy ground, but nice, dry rabbit space. Again, we have a little entry area, little vestibule zone, where there are no rabbits. And this is key to getting in and out when you're cleaning. When you need a wheelbarrow going in and out and the rabbits are going to be at your feet trying to escape, it's really good to have a zone which can be cleared of rabbits. So of course we have a little dug hole on the ground here. That's when one of my mums that was pregnant escaped, and she started digging before I found her, and the ground was frozen, so I'll fill that back in soon. So again, just like before, we have a girl's side and a boy's side, and we have a few upgrades to our split between the two. So there's one side over here. First upgrade we have is that we have stronger fencing between the two sides. The chicken wire eventually gives way. They end up tearing it. It tears, and with their urine and other stuff, it gives way very easily. So we redid the flooring. You can see that the ground is now stucco wire. It's a higher gauge wire, and we've used that for the wall between the two sides as well, because our buck made his way through at one point and we had several oopsie litters. So we have a way stronger fence now, which is great. And I also made a more permanent tunnel. So we have our little tunnel, and this gets opened up. I just put a little thing in front of it. This gets opened up when we have babies. And so oftentimes we'll end up with our buck on this side, and for sometimes he's alone, and all the mums and the babies on the other side. And what this allows is for the babies to travel through from one side to another, but the adults cannot get through from one side to another. So we don't end up with litters that we don't want, but we do end up with the buck being socialized and the babies being able to, he's got little rabbits coming and visiting and grooming, and they have more space. They can go both sides. So those are a few of the upgrades. The fantastic roof, I love it, it's so good. The thicker gauge wire on the floor and for the wall, and a more solid tunnel between the two sides. Now, what else has changed from the last video? I think that's really the majority of it. I just cleaned today, and you can see that we have this white powder that you can see on the ground here, and that is lime. It's what's it called? I'm gonna think of it and I'll write it down later. It's lime. Some people use it in their gardens. It helps to balance the pH in your garden beds. But I put it on the ground because it absorbs moisture. And so I've put some right here because the snow is melting on the other side and it has a bit of a slant here, and so this ends up quite wet. And so this just helps absorb moisture. It also helps absorb scent. So when I look at their places where they go pee, once I clean away all the dirty stuff, I cover it with lime to help absorb any scent and moisture, and cover it up again with clean straw. And that may be all the differences we have now. Okay, you guys get back inside there and close the door. It's very nice to have that ability. And they have torn apart their barrel of hay, so it won't last much longer. But yeah, same as before. Places to hide, in and easy access in and out of the hutch where they have their food and their water, and just a cleaner, healthier space with the roof. That's all I got for you now. Feel free to ask any questions. I'll be more on top of it now. Bye-bye.